bowler?
Yeah.
He throws it like Hadoken.
Throws it.
It's
Oh
like
my
he
God.
throws it. He's a pretty good bowler too.
That's
But
funny.
I mean, like,
But that's
he's like an amateur pro. He's not
That's
pro.
gonna kill the lane though, and kill
That's
like
a little bit. Not really.
I mean, he doesn't throw it that far, but
I
mean,
love your reasoning, Jason.
No,
a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, like I mean, like a lot of.
I
bowlers and
mean,
stuff like that.
within time, maybe, but
with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host, as always. And tonight, fresh from their trip to San Diego ComicCon,
yo.
we've got the Beanied one.
oh, hello, my
Gerard
nerds,
Herrera.
my lovely ones. Hello, that's right. We came back from the Great Comic Con, and hey, how's it going?
That was a very constipated looking look that you
Right?
Right?
It's like squeeze.
I was
Squeeze, please. Come on.
I was going for a dramatic turn.
Now you're
Trying to
looking,
channel
now you look
your,
like you sound like you're in like the 40s England
No.
play.
No,
Like
no.
The over actor.
Nope. Stanley Tucci's character in Hunger Games, the game show host.
Bruh.
Oh man,
Ooh.
oh that's cool. I
Ooh.
like him.
All right. I'll give you that.
That's,
And that, ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
funny.
Up there in some weird armor suit that he's playing
It's
on
the
Tears of the
Flame
Kingdom.
Guard armor. Come
is-
on now.
The babyface one, the Owalski.
What is up, everybody?
There he is.
California was so good.
And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, our Ryu, our maitre d' services, the Lion's Mane Jason Valerio.
Ooh.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? I'll take that, man. Ryu, he's solid, man. Solid.
I don't know that. So I don't know the like total cast of characters right now. So I've already used Dulcim on you, so I had to go
Yeah.
Ryu. So
All right. Hey, it's right around the corner, bro. It's right around the corner. You know.
I know you're gonna Evo next weekend.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
no joke.
Not this,
Dude,
not this week, but
even
next
no
week.
joke, that Capcom's booth was constantly busy. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
people started their own like competitions and like it
Oh,
got
yeah.
heavy, bro. Oh yeah.
It's very, very common.
It was awesome.
One of these years, you guys gotta come out with me, man. Like, I want to see you guys come out, but
I don't know
It's
how
all
I
right.
necessarily. We'll discuss it, but I don't know how I feel about sharing a room with 12 people. It sounds good, but also sounds bad.
no. We can grab our
No.
own room, bro. That's not
I'm
a
good,
big
thanks.
I'm only cuddling with Jason and Jerry and
Right.
maybe Matt too. But
No.
any stranger reach around, I'm not going for it. Not going for it.
That's fine. I'll just invite Scott along for you, Theo.
There you go.
You're gonna have to
I
take
need
me
that
to the
buffer.
wall. That's how I'm gonna have to be able to sleep.
Do what?
Nah,
You'll have to
if
tape
you
me
guys
to
roll
the
through,
wall.
man. Like,
Tape you
get
to the
out-
wall?
get our
Yeah.
room. It's not that bad, dude. It's not a big deal, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, just put him in the bathtub.
I was gonna say, but I call
Or
the
that,
bathtub.
yeah, I've
I
done
call the
that before.
bathtub.
Anyways,
So how's
what's up,
everyone-
boys?
How is everyone doing tonight?
What's going on?
Bro.
I'm good. I'm tired, man.
It's
I had to work today, and then right after work, I got like so tired and just weary from the Comic-Con, but man, it was fun. It was so much fun. Yeah, fatigue. It was a little. I got a little fatigued, but damn, dude, it was so much fun. And we figured some stuff out that like I don't think we would have known if the strike hadn't gone on. So like there were some upsides to it. There was we checked out some panels and we're able to get a few autographs of people like we didn't know were going to be there. So
we'll talk about that here in
yeah.
a minute, as we go to Breakdown Comic-Con. But it's been a week. It's only Tuesday. I did have my echo today, though.
Nice.
yeah. Oh, nice.
I will find out
See
next
results
Wednesday.
next week. Okay.
Yeah, next
Okay.
Wednesday, right before I'm flying to LA. I get to find out my results when I have my cardiologist appointment. So, as you guys have always heard me, I've been hearing me say for last year, though, please, if you haven't done your yearly checkup, go get it done. Hopefully, they don't find anything, but catching things early is definitely preferable to catching them late when they can't be fixed. So that said, let's talk about Comic-Con, because with the strike happening, a lot of the panels couldn't happen as anticipated because the actors are not allowed to promote any TV projects, movie projects that they're involved with. Voice actors can still promote their projects because the voice acting on the anime side is not covered yet. But there's still some animation roles that are covered under the strike. It's really weird. John was trying to explain it to me, and it still didn't make any sense. Like I got
the feeling that from John didn't really get to talk to us about it, but like some of the other actors, I got the feeling that they're preparing themselves for it, and they were also kind of like reluctant to talk about anything. So they're just kind of like sticking to what's already done and all that kinds of stuff. So, which is good on them. Like, I mean, we definitely support it.
Yeah,
I think
because I think the difference, like if you got a role on a Pixar film that's animated, that's still I would guess that's still under SAG-AFTRA.
I think that's what the difference is. It's like it's a Pixar type movie or a DreamWorks.
But if it's some sort of budget or there's some sort of categories that bring it to where they've separated it to that point as well.
Yeah, because it makes sense with the anime stuff and everything, because most of them are international and they're not housed in America. So you got like Viz Media, you got Funimation, you got all those, and that makes sense because they're not partaking in SAG-AFTRA.
Right.
So how was it like with the panels that are normally there, right? You have more, you normally have Marvel having these big panels with all the actors coming out and stuff like that. How was it this year for those panels without having the pomp and circumstance ones that you guys saw like last year?
One, we thought it was hilarious every day going in just before open and seeing there being a like maybe 1% the size of the line for Hall H.
Oh wow.
Because they normally when we get there, they're like all the tent area that's intertwined, because you can usually fit like 4 lines per tent, and there's like 10 lines of tents, so it's massive, and usually that's always full and overflowing. We didn't even have like 4 lines to fill one line of tents every day. And they didn't even and there was nothing scheduled for Hall H or Ballroom 20 on Sunday. 0 scheduled.
Wow.
I think the only thing that was scheduled that I kind of think we regret missing, that we didn't actually realize that we were missing, was the new trailer of Spider-Man 2 was in Hall H on Thursday.
Yeah.
And
but that was released immediately on the internet.
But so was the
Sony
debut of that gorgeous PS5.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, which is cool. The other thing, what I also mentioned was when we were kind of looking for other things that we normally probably wouldn't have looked at, trying to get into Hall H or trying to go to other autographs or panels. Dude, Hasbro Pulse had like a really good panel and like did a lot of showed a lot of stuff coming into the future toy wise, and had a sweet raffle where I almost had the chance to get a Galactus or a Sentinel, but the kid that sat right next to me won.
I just can't. I can just
Why didn't you pull
picture
it?
like I can just picture how big of like a smile you would have had, because at that point,
God, dude.
At the point 2 of us separated, I was in line for Robbie Damon's autograph and he went off to that. But like I can just imagine him just like
I wouldn't even carrying that box
with this
around.
giant box.
Oh my God, bro! I would
get
be
a smile on his face.
Why didn't you pull up Beetlejuice?
Oh my god!
Like Jason was already making the motion. Why didn't you just go, "Hey, look"? And
dude, someone even saw like the disappointment in my face. I was just like, oh my god! Like I've been saving.
It's like, bro, right there.
And this kid, and the worst part is like in the middle of the announcement, he comes in and sitting like. He like halfway
so he
through.
Even came in late.
No, he came in. Yeah, he came in late.
Oh no!
Yeah. He was just like,
that's messed
hurts.
up.
Like I had to look away. Like, it hurts. But no, but it was really cool, and the panelists are really nice, and like I actually got to talk to a couple of them, and one of them that I actually knew does a lot of the unveiling for Hasbro. Kind of slipped him some suggestions of some series I'm me and like the fans are really looking forward to,
like
which was X-Men Evolution and not Young Justice. Oh crap.
Yeah, you told me which two it was because you actually got to ask the question in the panel.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, why am I blanking?
Jerry asking questions.
Yeah, I was.
He actually rose his hand.
I did.
He didn't have to actually go up and stand in front of a mic though.
Oh,
he had it easy. He just had to raise his hand.
I got to say it from my seat. Yeah, but
that shows you how full the ballroom was if there was no mic.
No, it was a smaller ballroom.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was fun. And then oddly enough, the other one was Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers. In that cartoon form.
Okay.
But in the Star Wars Black Series, that was that line I couldn't even attempt. That wrapped around the theater area. So that was insane. So I didn't even get to go into that. But no, and dude, the Critical Role panel, those were epic.
So much fun.
That was so much fun. And all of those guys are like the sweetest people, and like are absolutely love their fans. Yes.
And the fan base is freaking awesome. They're so nice, and like the extent that they went out through, there was some amazing cosplays for their characters on their campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw a really great Fern. Some of the people that asked questions were great Percy's. There was a fantastic Orem, and that's Liam O'Brien's character. In multiple campaigns and one-offs, and I was really impressed with the quality, as well as the person was handicapped with missing one of their arms, and I was still baffled by it. It was amazing.
Wow. So what was your favorite part of it, and what was one of the most disappointing parts this year?
Well, I would say for me, the only disappointing part were the cancellations, but that's just what, it came with, the strike came with. And the only other thing that in turn that came from that made the main floor way more congested, because that's where everyone spent most of their time. Yeah. And then like it seemed like looking for panels, or staying in lines on the main floor for something like specific. So
I think the great thing was that there still was ample amount of things to do, because there were certainly things that we like picked out that we were going to do as like fillers, and we never got the time to do it.
Yeah.
Like, so and they had some great stuff, because there was like there was one that was a free miniature D&D miniature painting thing that you could do. You just go in, paint your own miniature, or learn how to best paint it and take it home with you, or learn how to play D&D, or learn how to play Magic, or all these kinds of fun things to help expand people's thoughts in their nerdy world.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
do you think it was worth the admission this year?
The price of admission?
I still think so.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure it's still $85 a day, and there's still tons and tons of stuff to do. And I mean, if anything, like, yeah, I would say so. I mean, you just didn't get your
yeah.
announcements. I mean, like,
Yeah.
if
The
anything,
only
you could just
downside
kind of view it
was-
as like there
yeah,
was
that.
nothing coming out because of the. Granted, it was the strike this time, but imagine if there's a year where just nothing's new.
You mean a year without Marvel movies?
Oh,
Jason's
right.
favorite
that'll
year
ever
in the
happen.
world.
Which
that'll ever
Jason,
happen.
you'll be
That'll never happen.
happy with that. No, actually, Bob Iger, in the same conversation we talked about last week, where with the writer's strike, he also talked about how releasing all the TV shows from Marvel has diluted Marvel
Oh yeah,
and the quality of Marvel.
Of course.
And
but
he
even
said the
still,
same thing about Star Wars.
Even still, I'd be shocked if there would be 1 year where there's no Marvel movie. I mean, maybe it's going to be like, okay, December of 2023, and then all the way till January of 2025. I'm like, yeah, you kind of
from what
win that one, but
no. To back what Matt said, from what Iger from what it sounded like, it's pretty much going to be like a movie here and there, and maybe a show, or maybe a 2 shows, and that's going to be their whole announcement.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he's looking at it from a bottom line perspective that all these shows cost a ton of money and you're not getting return on investment, so to speak, because you look at the last couple of Marvel shows since WandaVision have not done well in terms of what they would want the shows to do from a financial perspective. And they're not getting
the service itself, the streaming service itself, isn't even doing what they expected to, which is why the rumor out that he's shopping it around, and Hulu.
Well, that's the funnier thing to all of that is that a lot of the streaming services are no longer doing well. And it's like cyclic, right? Is they're not producing the content, they're not having the viewers, but then you look at the movie industry, it's hurting because everyone's realizing, hey, I can just wait 4 weeks and it's going to be out on the streaming service. Like, for instance, I fired up Paramount Plus today to finish watching the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New World, and here's an advertisement for Transformers Rise of the Beast, now streaming on Paramount Plus. I just went and saw that in the theater a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we just saw that like a month ago.
Yeah. So, June 19th. So yeah, a little over, just tad over a month ago. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here.
That's insane to think about. Because...
But do you think so, since that's on that, because like I agree that like that quick a turnaround to go to streaming is insane. But like, do you think that they should or adjust how they like first did it with with COVID and theaters shutting down, with like the first one being kind of like Trolls? It was immediately available on iTunes on release day, but you had to purchase it, or I think you had to purchase it. You couldn't rent it, but it wasn't streaming. Do you think they need to go to that model?
I think that's a very loaded question right now. I think
that's what's going on right now. Like in the times we are right now. Just because, you are kind of essentially getting rid of the movie like industry. Like,
correct.
What's the point of going to the movies if you're just gonna say, hey, you know what, it's gonna be simulcast.
But I mean, but that still is getting to the point where at least that hurts the theater industry more than the movie industry.
Well, no, it still hurts the movie industry. But you think about this, right? Is a lot of contracts are built on ticket sales. So the actor will get a certain, like the A-listers, right, will get a certain cut of the revenue at the movie theater as kind of like a bonus or built into their contract, right? So if you're turning around and saying, okay, the average movie ticket is $15 to $20, depending on when you're going, if it's an IMAX or whatever it is, right? If you're taking 2 people to the movie theater, that's $40. You're taking a family of 5, that's $100 for tickets, right?
Yeah, but
and everything
the
like that.
actors have
But-
already been
or-
talking about getting those contracts changed, especially with like how Scarlett Johansson sued about Disney Plus and Marvel. I mean, that's
Yeah,
still
but that was a
it
difference.
is-
So that was her contract, though. So her contract was that it was going to go into theaters, and then they decided to put it on the streaming.
right.
Like,
And
I'm just talking.
but we're talking about
overall,
this,
right?
yeah, but still, it's going to be, if it's going to be a matter of contracts and everything, it's still going to be a matter of negotiation. The whole COVID things introduced brand new things without them being thought out. And now we have the time to think things out, and probably it's going to increase prices if they're going to put things on available for purchase right away or anything like that.
And that's
in
where I was
order
going to
make
go
up
with
those differences.
with that, right? Is that if you go online to go buy, at the time Mario Brothers was $30
on a release, yeah.
or
even
you can wait
prior to
or you
release.
can wait a little bit and it's going to be $20. But even then, though, that's $30
13 last weekend.
Yeah, and I bought it brand, when it dropped. Anyways, so even then, right? You look at a $30 movie versus $100 ticket sales for your family. So now that's $70 worth of revenue that is no longer accounted for anymore.
And that's also
So I
assuming
think-
that like Matt buys it, I buy it, Theo buys it, and Jerry buys it, versus all four of us just going over to Matt's house and watching it.
Correct.
True.
Yeah.
Or password sharing. Anyways,
Well, I mean, no,
but-
just like in general, because
sorry,
you know how
Netflix.
like the Super Bowl just is the same exact way, like just because one TV is watching it does not mean that there's like 5 households.
Kind of like the same way they were looking at
make a
pay-per-views. Yeah.
You make I was going to bring up pay-per-view too. Like, you make a good point. They could move to a pay-per-view type of format
and that
in order to
might
make
not
more
be
money.
a bad thing. But I think where they need to probably go back to is, it's just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise, basically flat out saying, this is not going to show up on streaming. This will be in theaters for X period of time before it shows up on streaming. And Maverick, it was months before it showed up on Paramount Plus,
which I'm used to. I mean,
which is still rather quick.
I still feel
months.
agreed. I agree. I still feel it's rather quick, because I was going to say, back in the day when when we were Jason and I were working in our store, we always remembered Tuesdays, but we always remembered the calendar of when's this movie coming out, or oh man, it's coming out. Oh, 3 more months, dude, and this movie's finally coming out on DVD. But it made that anticipation, but also it also made sense, to take that long for the movie to come out on DVD, because it was recently in theaters, and
you need to develop that itch. To see the movie. You need
exactly.
That itch.
thanks Blockbuster management.
And now, once
So-
now, if you miss that one movie in the movie theaters, you're not really gonna
It'll be
hate
out for
yourself
sale.
too much.
missing out.
You know what, in a month and a half it's gonna be out in digital, I'll just buy it, or I'll rent it.
When was the last time that I actually went to a movie on a Thursday on premiere night? Whereas before, when we first started the show, I was going
midnight
every
remember?
Thursday.
So real quick,
gotta take its midnight show.
Top Gun Maverick came out May 27th.
Okay.
It did not show up on streaming until December 22nd. 7
Wow.
months
Cool.
That's pretty
before
good.
it hit streaming. So I think that's where you kind of need to go to help drive sales. They even
That made
re-released
sense.
it
That
as
was
part
still
of
fine.
Oscar season and all that. I don't know where you fix that though, really, because I think it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation that, I do think they need to look at extending out the window and not having things show up within 6 weeks of launch in the theaters. Like Black Panther was super quick onto Disney Plus.
Yeah. Black Panther Forever was for sure.
Wakanda Forever, and some of their other ones have been super quick to streaming. And it's you're establishing psychology 101, operant conditioning. You are basically conditioning everybody to know that, hey, in 6 weeks, I can go watch it on my TV at home, which, you're comfy. You can pause it if you need to go to the bathroom. You're not going to miss anything.
You don't have other
Not
people
paying
around.
anything extra.
Oh my God.
The movie, well, I think in general, the movie going experience is changed, and you're not seeing as many people go to the theaters, except for Barbenheimer weekend this weekend, where both Oppenheimer and Barbie are just crushing it right now.
I heard that like, because my parents were gonna go see it over the weekend, and all the showings near us were all sold out.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard of the last time that a theater was sold out.
Movies.
Yeah.
True.
So
such a weird contrast.
And that there proves that there is a niche for the theater experience, but I think it needs to move to more of an experience.
It needs to reinvent itself.
Yeah. You know, it's becoming a commodity to where, or like really like a hobby almost, to where like, let's go to the theater for that one. It's weird to kind of see it transition into, you know,
I think it's a disposable income
more
type thing.
It's
because
weird.
Look at like case in point, me, family of 4 in my household. So my wife and 2 boys, right? To go see Little Mermaid, right? That was, you know, $80-$90 for the tickets. Once you factor in buying them online and everything like that. Then going there, getting the popcorn and drinks, that's another $30-$40. So there's $120. We even smuggled in candy. Anyways,
dang, look at that. What a
hey,
parent.
dude. Hey, you know what? We did it as kids. Got to teach them right.
What a parent move right there.
Go to Walmart, go to Target, get yourself a $1 box of candy.
Oh yeah,
you know,
or a bag of gummy bears.
But I mean, but even at these days, you don't even really have to sneak it as much as you used to back in the day.
Not really.
They
really don't search you all that much.
You don't.
Yeah.
So Theo and I, so when we went and saw Transformers, right? I walked in with a full like Starbucks. Like I just my team and walked straight on in.
Like,
bro, I miss the day. I miss the days when I used to walk into the promenade because they had a Subway right next to it, and I just walk in with a sandwich. Yeah, God, those are good days.
Sweet. Oh, to have a full freaking Subway sandwich.
Subway.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
So good.
Hell yeah, dude, I'd do it.
And now there's not much out there next to the promenade.
No, there isn't. They're building apartments now instead.
Yeah, but I think there's not going to be any clear-cut answer out of that. And I think you're going to have to see these studios once the strikes are done, right? They're going to have to reinvent how they're doing things right now and maybe bring it back old school where you want to go see those movies in the theaters. Like,
well, I think this is also part of what everything that needs to be discussed, and that is going to be discussed in the strike, because I mean, case in point, like, look at this is another problem.
Well, do we think the best, or let's say initial thoughts for best solution, is it going to be a matter of taking things away, i.e. no longer things putting on streaming, or somehow improving the movie going experience?
Well, actually both. So I think
I would say, but a bit of both.
And how would you improve the movie going experience?
Lower prices.
That's it? Just lower prices?
No, that's where you have to start. Like when you look at where ticket prices are right now, right there, and I think it's supply and demand, right? Is in economics, they're having to raise ticket prices because nobody's really going to the theaters as much anymore. So they have to keep the studios open, or to keep theaters open. So I think if you can lower the prices, that may help drive people back to
I like the idea of lowering prices, but I have a little stipulation in my mind with that. I feel like in order to increase butts and seats and lower prices in a way is bundle them. Is the more you buy, the less it costs per ticket. If you go by yourself, you're paying full price.
Oh yeah, Xbox? Like, what the heck, bro? Like,
whatever, dude. Get some friends. Go see a movie.
I was also gonna say, like, I think they should incorporate the drive-in experience a little bit more.
Drive-ins they're almost dead.
But that's what I'm talking about, man. There's a little bit of a resurgence.
One
down in Denver. A little bit of a resurgence in California, where like during COVID, a few of them popped up like
Well, yeah.
as for a small amount of time, but it worked. And
I mean, that was
worked.
COVID time though, bro. Like,
I do
So I think,
but what I'm saying is like,
But did it
bring
work
the
because
movies-
there's a lack of other ones? Like it was just a nice event to have rather than a regular thing.
that's what all it was.
Yes, but I also think a lot of people caught on to the like how nice the experience was, to where if theaters kind of look into that, maybe bringing that experience to the theater, lowering ticket prices and like not needing all the bells and whistles of the whole theater, you know what I mean? Scale back and maybe try that.
I don't know. I love my theater. I love the seats in my theater.
Yeah,
and
but
the
unfortunately,
and...
like again, for it to survive, it may have to go back to a novelty, or
I think
like we said, this is a tough area for it to. We don't know if it's going to survive.
It's going to go hand in hand with streaming, though, and I think you're going to have to pull a Top Gun Maverick, and you're going to have to make it almost like it was back when Blockbuster was around. Where, like you were talking about, is you looked at those Tuesdays, what's coming out for rental at the movie store, what games are being released in the store, right?
I certainly agree that, like, I think
if they
need to take more time on releasing.
Yep.
And I think, well, obviously, depending on the negotiations, take more care and
well, I think you're going to have to shrink it, increase the amount of time before it hits streaming, the platforms, right? You need to go, I think, 6 months. And I think you need to do the same thing for iTunes as well. Like the digital purchasing is you need to wait 6 months.
I think it needs to just be when, like it was before, it was on a DVD/Blu-ray release. That's when digital was available.
Yeah.
Yep. And you do that for streaming too. You do it on all three. It's coming.
Actually,
this is release date.
Good point.
And then that way, if it's going to be at least 6 months, that's going to give people FOMO that, hey, I'm not going to want to miss out on Barbie or Oppenheimer.
I also had a question for you guys. Do you also feel like the binge like formula is still worth it, or do you feel it should be episodic?
I
mean, you don't feel binging a show
grab?
Actually dilutes the season after watching it, and
I don't think it dilutes.
Really?
I think for money grab it's perfect because it guarantees you're at least, if it's an 8 episode limited series, you got them for 2 months for one show right there. For a money grab, it makes sense. From an enjoyment perspective, no, binge all the way.
Binge.
Always going binge.
See, I'm going to look at it from the opposite side of the equation with that, is that, like my wife and I were binging Rookie right now. We're going back through that and whatnot. But like for me, I love waiting, knowing that, hey, when I want that excitement. I want that. Give me my next episode.
And I love cliffhangers.
But this is the thing, though.
Cliffhangers. Never give me a season ender cliffhanger. I want to binge. Never do that crap to me.
Okay, so after saying that, Theo, so it's understood that what I was speaking about is when new shows come out, binge or episodic, and you guys are still binge.
I'm still binge.
Episodic.
I will always.
I feel episodic works better for the show and company. That's where I feel. I depends on.
I feel like that depends on how the production is done. If they need to do episodic because the production timeline takes longer, then that makes sense. Because like you got some shows that are still filming or still editing as episodes are coming out, whereas like
I ask,
and you binged a production, you can binge a watch.
I ask from like just a larger perspective of the streaming and what's going on.
Let's take it from the actor side.
I feel episodic works better for the streaming service because one, they can control it. They can probably get more strict numbers of the streaming and episodes and people viewing than the binge formula.
So here's the thing with that too, though. Let's take it from the point of the actress. So Michelle Hurd, who's she's like the vice president of the Actors Guild. She was Rafi in Picard. She was on Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
She was saying that the way streaming is done now, where they film everything and then they're holding on to it until whenever they want to, whether they do release it as episodic or as a binge, right? But they're holding on to it as long as they want to.
They decide when they want to distribute.
When they want to, because they're not doing it episodically. They're doing, a lot of these are just, a lot of the shows are just being released for binge, and I think. And
so they hold on to it like season 4 of Stranger Things. They hold on to it for 6 months, build it up on the show that they want, and then they show it all.
And I think that's where you're going to get into that problem of revenues as well, because if you're just going to binge it when the season comes over or comes out, right? And like Stranger Things, right? You're talking about how they're just release it all at once for binging. Someone's going to stop there if there's nothing else on Netflix to watch, even though, yes, Jason's going to watch all the foreign shows and stuff like that, like Alice in Borderlands but for those people that aren't, right, they could just go, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cancel my subscription for a couple months.
And then I've totally done that.
Re-up for,
if I'm there for only specific shows like Paramount Plus and stuff, I totally do that.
I did it for HBO Max, for Last of Us.
For Last of Us. Yeah. Oh yeah. I did that too.
Once I was done, I canceled it. Like, I'm like, there's nothing else that interests me here. Like where's Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. Oh yeah. Those get abused in my household, not just by me, but the kids and stuff. Like me, I go back and watch all the Star Treks. I'm just a nerd like that. But so for me, subscribing every month to Paramount Plus makes sense. Because I constantly
getting use out of it.
Yeah. Right. But if I'm not going to use it, there's no point. And I think that's where the model needs to go back to, is I think you need to stop looking at instant gratification. Sorry, bingers, but is you kind of to keep your revenue coming in for streaming. You're going to need to move to an episodic model again to keep people hooked. Like you talked about, Theo, is like, you're going to be, if it's an 8-episode season, you have them for 2 months.
Guaranteed 2 months.
Guaranteed.
See, I like Jerry's point with what we have seen as like half season releases. I'm okay with that. I think that's a good compromise in between. Because like an example is Witcher. Witcher did a half one and 3 weeks later did the other half or something like that.
I think to correct myself, they did that for season 4 of Stranger Things, which was great. Season 3 is when they released the entire season, but season 4 they did that where I like that. Okay, we got half of it, and then we got to wait a few months for the conclusion. Great.
Yeah, but Witcher only did 3 weeks or something. Like I definitely think it needs to be longer.
I think it should be longer.
But I do say this. With me, like I decided to wait, but I didn't get rid of my subscription. So like they still grabbed me.
Yeah.
But I still get my binge.
Yeah. There's so much stuff that you can watch and binge watch at the same time right now too. Like, yes, they have the new things that are coming out, which is great. Do those half seasons, that's fine. But don't make it this like, I'm gonna have a half season and then it's coming out 3 months later. I think the pause has to be like decent enough where people that do binge it can binge it overnight. Cool. Like that's all you. But the ones that can't, like for me, example, I watch like an episode of something like maybe every 3 nights because I just don't have the time to right now. Like the way my life is set up.
Why is that, Jason? Why is that?
Because it's not the same quality of Alice in Borderland.
No, because chicken waits for no one.
Oh my God. So I think whatever. I think
I'm just saying, like, if you have enough time in between, okay, yeah, like throw out a few episodes. I just can't deal with that weekly because every week you're kind of tied into it. You're tied down. Like I'm forced to be here at this time. Let's say Tuesday at 6 o'clock. We have this every night. But if this thing comes out every Tuesday, then there's one more thing that I have to like pile onto my Tuesdays versus I can binge or I could just say, hey, you know what? I got time.
I'll get back to it later.
I'll come back. I think a few days later and just like, okay, let me watch. I have a day off on Sunday. All right, let me watch like 3 episodes. Knock it out.
Yeah.
regardless of which model they keep and go with, I think whatever they do, they have to have more benefits for the actors, though. Let's be fair,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
the
yeah.
actor.
But in
Absolutely.
turn, just
The only-
but just look at the discussion we just had, to where like they have a lot of problems that they have to figure out. Like
Oh,
even
yeah.
just
yeah.
that in
all
itself, and it's
aspects
just
of movies and TVs.
and it's just there's just so much that has to be discussed and has to be figured out. Where I mean, I don't see it happen. Like I don't see this coming to a conclusion for a while.
Well, I think
Oh,
some
no,
of the
especially not for SAG-AFTRA. No,
Yeah.
I
well,
don't see it go for a while.
couple of
I could see maybe some compromises to maybe put a standstill to the strike. Yeah, like a hiatus, but it will come back. I think it'll come back. I don't think they'll ever come to, or I don't, maybe not never, but they'll come. It'll take a really long time for anything to be solidified for it.
Well, they're thinking, talk to a couple of friends of ours, and one of them's thinking it's end of August, and
Yeah,
they'll
but
put this is when they're going to have to be forced to come to the table and really start negotiating, because
to negotiate. Okay.
to negotiate and
okay.
actually get this thing done. Because, and honestly, when you look at things, Deadpool 3, a prime example, they shut down production. I mean, you have movies that have halted production because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
that's money you are not recouping.
Dude, TV shows, talk shows, everything is done.
So
like,
case in point,
done.
look at
Or imagine or needing to recast child stars because they grew up.
Yep. And you look at let's look at Cyberpunk, right? We knew that game was released early because of the financials for CD Projekt Red. That if they did not release that game when they did, they weren't going to meet their financials. So you got to look at these studios, right? If they don't get these movies out, they're going to miss their targets to Wall Street. And guess what? When Wall Street comes calling and starts wanting heads of CEOs because they're not making money, the studios are they're going to have to come to the table.
But I think that's the point, is to hit them really where it hurts, where they are going to have to pay.
Yeah.
Like they have to understand, I mean, I think it was Bryan Cranston was
dude,
was
did
at
you
the
hear
front
that
lines today.
Did you hear that speech?
No.
I caught a little bit of it against Iger, and it's just like, dude, he just doesn't get it, and he really is.
What's a high level of the speech for us and our listeners? What's a high level of the speech?
Basically telling Iger he is completely out of touch with how the actors are. And you got to figure, this is Bryan Cranston, who worked for 20 years in the industry before he started becoming a household name with like Malcolm in the Middle and Breaking Bad and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, right? Like even back when Malcolm in the Middle came out, right? If you said Bryan Cranston back then,
you're like, who?
Now, he was even being name dropped as possibly the next Lex Luthor, at one point. That's how big he's become. And he just went right after Bob Iger. He's like, you have no idea what it's like for these actors who this is, they're just going paycheck to paycheck, because, and like even Michelle Hurd, who's, VP of the SAG-AFTRA and what she's been on, right? She didn't even qualify for her health insurance last year. And all they have to do is make $26K.
Yeah.
Between residuals and shows and all of that. And they're not even doing that. And Brian was like, this is how out of touch you are, is that these guys, this is their living. And you're wanting to replace them with robots, AI. Like it was shots fired. Like it was one of those types of speeches that giving against your employer that that if under any other circumstances you'd be fired. It was that kind of a speech.
It's fair.
So
I like that.
Now real quick, going back to Comic-Con and stuff, we'd be remiss. We did forget to do one thing. And that is talk about the PS5.
Oh yes, that's right.
It wouldn't be a game night without talking about some gaming. So the pre-orders will begin this Friday. And
So if you're
it
listening
is
now on Sunday, I'm sorry, man.
well, I've been starting to drop these on Fridays
Ooh, I like
a little bit more
those.
often now.
Okay.
But anyways, so
I like those.
it
If you're
is
still listening
a
into it, you might be a little too late.
yeah. Anyways, it is a disc-based system.
As it should be.
For those that are listening at home, on one side, it has where the disc drive is, it has a solid black plate with the white spider on it.
It's tight. It's tight.
And then on the other side, it is black and red with kind of like a intertwining of
Symbiote.
the Venom symbiote with Spider-Man with the white Spider-Man logo on
It's
the
tight.
red.
It's tight. I like that too. That's tight.
Now, what they are doing a little bit different this time around is that the special edition stuff is going to be available separately. So the controller that comes with it, you're going to be able to buy that separately if you want just the controller.
Hell yeah.
And they're going to do the plates separately as well.
Yes. Those are cool.
How long have we been saying that needs to be a thing? Plates to be separate?
Yes, since the beginning.
And this is now the first game they're doing a plate for separately.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they continue doing this. Thank you.
Yep. So they are going to be doing them in both versions of the plates, for the all digitals and for the disc-based systems and the controller. And they are only available through direct.playstation.com. Some select retailers are going to have them, but
I still have one gripe that they need to get on the boat for is not always needing to release special controllers. Make controllers that have plates, interchangeable plates. Stop making us buy so many damn controllers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Although,
yes.
Yeah.
Just trade the old controller in.
I can use another.
No.
What you use that old controller for?
I like to Theo's point, right? I like the idea of just the plates and the control, like do it all separate. Don't always have to have just a controller. Because I like the plates,
Yeah.
Right.
So
hopefully they continue this model. Thank you, Sony. Like, awesome. Bring out more plates. More plates.
Yep.
Or let us customize.
It's dinner time. I need more plates.
Dinner time. Oh, J-Bo.
Honestly, think about this, right? Think about
coming
how many
out with gold, baby.
That was such a dad joke, and you're not even.
That
a dad.
was awesome.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think though, when you look at it, right, is how many people out there would buy Uncharted plates? Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima.
Bro, yeah.
Oh,
God of War.
Okay,
sorry,
Jason,
man.
hold on.
I see the aesthetic appeal for it.
Yeah,
but it's just an aesthetic appeal.
Hey, hold on, real quick. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Ask Nintendo, how well are they doing with their themed Switches?
Well, I mean, the themed whatever will be forever like a niche. Like it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. You gotta get up on that bandwagon. But some of us, we just like, you know what?
Okay, well then, for some of us that don't, for those of you that don't care, just don't worry about it. Just don't buy it.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying, like, you just need to
you give me
slow it down.
If you were to give me Uncharted plates for my PS5, I'd go out and buy them in a heartbeat.
Then
here's my
cash.
Would
you ever replace them? Is the question.
They'd go right on my PS5.
So you would never buy another plate ever.
Not necessarily. I had
So then, what would you do
back on the? Back on the 360.
On what I'm playing. If I'm playing,
Dude,
if I'm replaying Uncharted, I'm throwing Uncharted plates on. If I'm replaying God of War, I'm throwing God of War plates on.
I mean, honestly, back in the day, for
mix and match, man.
When I had a 360,
throwing on a suit.
My 360 had
four different
plates back in the day. Yeah. Before they came out with the 360 Slim, essentially.
No, I totally agree. I'm the same way. Like if I'm feeling sassy and want to go back to Red Dead, oh, you better believe The Red Dead
That,
things are
that,
going
that,
on.
that takes you feeling sassy. I think it takes a lot less than you feeling sassy.
I mean,
to
let
go
me-
back
That's
to
true.
Red Dead.
I mean, when
Come
we
on
look
now.
at it, right?
Let's be
That's true.
honest.
I already had like a normal Switch. Okay. And I was back in the day when they were still limited before they did the rerun on them. Animal Crossing Switch was out. There was a store down there near Jerry and I down in Arizona that had one. I went and traded in my Switch to get the Animal Crossing Switch because I love Animal Crossing. That's it's to Theo's point. It's a good cash grab.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it allows you to personalize your system a little bit more often, or a little bit more to your what you want your system to be.
And that's the only real thing is like, because you can personalize your system, Jason. Yeah. But the one thing I will ask, because I do feel it would be a bit much for them to be a pair.
Correct.
Especially if you're going. No. I mean,
what do you mean by pair?
So obviously it's always going to come with the front and the bottom. Why would you need a themed bottom? You're never going to see it. So why wouldn't it just be the top?
But that's assuming that like everybody puts it on the side. Like
True,
stand it up, you can see both
unless you
sides.
stand it up. But
yeah.
Once again, is it really worth it? Because isn't that like how you're not supposed to stand up your PS5?
That's been debunked.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah. No.
So
matter.
Additional question: would you guys care more about that? Like, would you want them both to be themed, or would you care if you just bought a single plate?
I would care for both of them to be themed, especially for standing.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that, like, especially with the example of the Spider-Man, that the Spider-Man quote unquote bottom panel is barely themed. It's pure black with one symbol. Yeah. So it's very minimal. So it's not like it does much and it's okay to be unseen, but it adds to that aesthetic when it can.
True, very true. And good argument. But
I like the option of having.
That's for that one. That's for the Spider-Man one. The other ones, could have a more intricate one on the bottom, and you're never going to see it if you have it laying down.
But that's just a design flaw, right?
Well, I think with that is I think it's nice to have them as a themed pair, but I think it'd be nice to have them where you have the same image on either plate that you can buy separately, because then if you want, Ghost of Tsushima on one side, and you want Horizon on the other side, right? You can have your console themed with both main plates. Right.
Okay.
So especially for those that stand them up next to their TV, so everybody that's walking into the room can see both sides. It's kind of cool. But
yeah,
I was just like,
but with that in mind,
purchase
would you
guys prefer?
Would you end up agreeing with Jerry's original point, like being able to buy it in singles rather than always in a pair?
So from a consumer perspective, I would love to just be able to buy them singly, and then you get a discount to buy them together.
Because I'm also thinking, like, whenever you get the feeling, like we said, if I'm going to play Red Dead, I want to put my Red Dead plates on. Or if I want to play God of War, I'm going to put my God of War plate on.
We all know that if there's Red Dead plates, that thing's going on your system, and that's where it's going to sit. It's not going to. You're not going to change it. It's never going to move.
For a while. I mean, it'll sit for a while, but eventually, I do change.
It'll sit until Red Dead 3 comes out. We'll say that.
Oh man,
he'll just look at it and be like, "Hey, look, I need to start another Red Dead Redemption run. I still haven't finished X game. I need to just go back to Red Dead."
Very true.
But no, it's an interesting point, but the problem is that from a manufacturing perspective, then you have you're having all these SKUs that you have to produce, and you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at the same time, like, you could go about or like doing the same numbers of production, and stores just end up selling out of one over the other, right versus left, top versus bottom, or whatever. I mean, it's possible. And then as well as it's an additional money grab where, like, instead of the pair being, I don't know what price it is for the Spider-Man. I think it's like $60. You could do 40 per and increase your intake.
How about better rate?
Twix,
rip off
yeah, there you go.
Rip off Xbox Design Labs and do them for plates where people pay a little bit
Oh,
extra.
there you go. There you go.
And you can basically design your own plate, so you can have them make you Uncharted, Horizon.
But that would, but I mean, yeah, I like your point of the Xbox, but that then you kind of like it feel like that also kind of poops on other companies' faces when they were saying like, no, you can never make plates. Only we can make plates.
Seriously.
It's like it's more of a shove in the face.
Well, no, that's patent and trademarking. That's just what it is. So, anywho, Jason,
I think that's a reach.
You're a reach, sir.
A reach around because I'm courteous. You're welcome.
No.
What a guy!
No.
What a guy!
So, Jason, what you been playing?
Classy move right there.
What have I been playing? Nothing right now, honestly. I've just been trying to catch
Too many
up
chickens,
on
man. Too many
Yeah,
chickens.
catching up on
Those chickens
old
can't
shows,
wait, man.
having some fun.
Those chickens
with
wait for
them.
no one.
Playing some like team fight tactics here and there, playing some
Matt,
mahjong.
Great White Buffalo.
Just nothing too crazy. Same old.
I still hate that. I still hate.
I mean,
Still
like,
hate that you coined that phrase, but I think we need to like capitalize on that phrase.
Oh yeah,
with them shirts.
Hell yeah, man.
chicken waits for no one.
But yeah, it's just been catch up on old shows and rewatching certain episodes when we see them. Nothing too much.
Anything in particular?
So the new season of What We Do in the Shadows is coming out slowly on Hulu.
Okay.
So we've been watching that.
Sweet.
I've been watching old episodes of The Amazing Race. And watching a little bit of Hoarders.
You really are a dad.
Some other
Hoarders.
Yes, sir.
Dang.
That show is amazing. That show's amazing.
My God.
I've never given it a try.
Dude, it's life, man.
I just feel like it's like looking at a train wreck. You just can't turn away,
scary.
but you feel like you need to.
Like,
it is.
There's so many questions you have at the very start,
Right?
And you never answer any of them, but you get to see the before and afters.
Oh God, so gross.
Of the places.
But yeah,
it's amazing. The before and after shots are just what I go for, bro.
No, that's just.
no, thank you.
Yeah,
Phil,
Phil,
what have you been playing?
I see you be playing right now.
Yeah,
I mean, trying to make it pretty obvious. It's no secret here. I've been playing the crap out of TOTK here. I mean,
not much.
I mean, Jerry should know I was playing it all week and coming as soon as we were relaxing, bust out the Switch.
Yep.
But
yeah, you were knocking it out.
I am really happy that we got to binge some anime and introduce him to some anime that we some of the shows that we talked about at Nick's before we left. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, I have to jump on a few of those.
I finished a few. I'm continuing a few, like in Another World with Smartphone. I'm about to finish.
Yeah, he got like first 8 episodes out of the first season done. He got first season of Konosuba done.
Yeah, Kono was good.
Busted out like 10 episodes of One Piece. Like,
and then continuing One Piece, brother. I'm down,
dude. How far did you make it out in One Piece, Jerry?
Oh, he only made it to Buggy the Clown. That's it.
Yeah,
first introduction of Buggy the Clown. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're still like in the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Start.
You got another 900 episodes to go.
Yeah, like 900.
He hit the first 1% of
the
entire show.
1% yet. You're slacking, bro. You're slacking.
But yeah, transition there. That's what I've been doing, is watching some animes. And continuing. It's been a cool journey, and yes, thank you for all the suggestions. They've been awesome. And yeah, I got kind of a rock star itch, but not the one you might think. GTA 5 I am replaying right now. And
Okay, that kind of went in a different direction than I thought. I thought you were going to be like a Mick Jagger edge, like Rockstar. It's just just between the legs. It's a little itchy.
Right,
Put some of that white powder down there. You know, get a little comfy.
Go grab him a walker while you're at it.
With the tennis balls.
Yeah, so that's what I've been mainly playing. Just here and there is Tears. Still, that's my Nintendo game I'm taking time on. And then I've been playing GTA and High on Life. That finally got
available. You finally got that one?
Yeah,
that Rick and Morty one?
It came available on the PlayStation Store, so I actually bought that, and I'm trying that. Nice. It's very odd. It's odd, but it's cool.
To say the least, it's odd.
Matt, what about you?
So I didn't really play much of FF16 over the last week, and that was more because
I thought you were pretty hooked on that.
I was, but
have you needed something different though?
No, it wasn't even that. It's just my, wife was out of town for a week, and I was taking care of the boys. So at night we were playing Mario Kart and the new courses.
There you
go. And of course, I am still on my Animal Crossing kick of redoing my island, and I decided to move some more stuff around and redesign some more. So
I was telling Jerry I have to start my island over.
Why? Oh, why?
Yeah.
Because I bought the OLED and I messed up on the SD card carryover and I lost it all.
You know, it's not an SD card carryover. There's an actual app you have to use.
Oh, is it an app that I have to use?
Still have,
but I can't access the cloud because I don't have the Nintendo Online anymore. So I don't have any cloud saves. I don't have anything. So it's all gone.
Oh. So
I got no island.
No, it's saved. The island is saved to your Switch itself.
Oh, well, the Switch
not
is
up in
gone.
the cloud. Yeah, so you had to go into the app and moved the island over to the new Switch before you got rid of the old Switch.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
Don't worry. Hey, Theo, don't worry. I'll be your dealer. I got a massive catalog and all this shit ton of DIY, which there's more shit I keep finding.
You guys
for DIYs.
are just popping tons of weird things in my mind because you say dealer, so now I'm picturing you in a trench coat, just flashing me with all these fruits and flowers and stuff. Like,
what do you buy?
What do you need? What do you need? What you need, baby?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do Resident Evil 4 style. So
I've got what you need.
Like, I built this like little area of my island that's got like this old mossy cave with like pine trees around it to make it look like a cave out in the forest.
Yeah.
And the other day I came across a DIY for a spooky cauldron.
Oh, sweet.
So I built the cauldron and put it out in front of the cave.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Now it's like so I may end up redoing part of my island into little themed areas and stuff. We'll see.
Is there like an islander that can like regularly look like a witch? I mean, you can like put their house in it, and it's like, ooh, Hansel and Gretel better not visit anytime.
You could probably redo their house to make it kind of look what you're kind of maybe wanting, but
I mean, like, can you dress an islander in anything you want? Like, just give them a witch hat and stuff.
No, you can't do them exactly because they'll change clothes on their own. But it's not bad. So I'm redoing part of I've got my island going. I've got Mario Kart, and I also picked up an old game I had on the Xbox, Clash of Heroes, Might and Magic. It's this game where you basically have to.
That sounds so familiar, man.
Scott and I used to play it all the freaking time. So you basically have different units that you had to stack into columns of 3 to make them into an attacking unit, or you can make them into a horizontal unit. Formation of 3. And they make walls and stuff. And it just dropped on the Switch. I was like, yes, please. Here's my $15. I used to have a blast with that game. So
that's funny.
There's that. So it's been predominantly a Switch week. I still need to start Pikmin 4 too.
Yeah, I forgot that you grabbed that. Okay.
Yep. And for those that are looking at or are going to be picking up Pikmin 4, do the demo first, because the demo gives you stuff to carry over into the game.
I would say if you can get some footage if you plan. It's and explain it because I'm still on the fence with Pikmin and I still don't fully understand Pikmin. And I would love to see something like that.
Yeah. So I like Pikmin 1, 2, 3. Well, the demo's free, so you can just go pick up the demo, go try it yourself too.
Sounds like effort rather than just watching you play.
Oh my
God.
Are you becoming like me? You know what the hell, though?
You're welcome.
Yeah, right.
Oh, geez.
So, we were gonna do a quick collector's corner. Like, you guys,
all my stuff said Jerry still.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do that another night.
We'll do it another night for ComicCon.
No, just do it at Jerry's
just
house.
remembered that. Like, oh crap, yeah.
Look like
Jerry, I see it back. Just pull it out.
It's literally like
it's right there.
Yeah, that's all Theo's.
I added another amiibo to the collection.
Oh, nice. What was it?
What'd you pick?
I got Blathers, who is the guy who runs the museum on Animal Crossing.
Bro,
He's the owl.
yes, the owl.
Oh,
that's
sweet.
awesome. I want to see him.
Oh,
and
I did get another one a couple weeks ago that I didn't show off. So, here's Blathers.
Oh, that's
sweet.
cool.
It was only $12 or $13 on Amazon.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
And then I did get him a couple weeks ago.
Sweet.
Rover. This, for anybody that plays Animal Crossing knows, Rover goes back to the original game. So
really?
When you're going to your town for the first time, you're on the train, Rover's the first one that greets you and asks you what your name is, what the name of the town you're going to is. So this is because back then Tom Nook was just a shopkeeper that kind of helped you build, expand your house and stuff like that. He wasn't like the whole
running the island or
Tom
something.
Nook running the island now. But he was the one that has said, "Hey, I'll sell you an upgrade to your house."
Right.
He wasn't like the end all be all of resident services.
Want to color your roof?
So yeah, right. So I got Blathers in the other day and whatnot. So
sick, dude.
Cool.
Anyways, so with that, I want to thank everyone for crashing game night with us tonight. If I could make sure to hit that subscribe button on the platform you are listening to us on, watching us on. Head over to crashinggamenight.com. Check out our past episodes there. You'll find every platform we're carried on. And as always, folks, just be excellent to each other.
Jerry, before you say your exit, I think at the very least, since we did share a little bit of Collector's Corner, please show Dumpster Fire Nightlight right now. Oh, please show it. Please show
Dumpster Fire Night. Oh God.
It's so great.
Sounds amazing already.
I love it.
Oh my!
Oh, you put the batteries in. Yes. That's so good.
Oh my God.
All right.
So simple, but so great.
And what's I would imagine you guys won't necessarily believe this, but the line was capped most of the day, all the time. When anytime we tried to get in, and we always had to get tickets in order to potentially get in the line at a certain time.
Yeah,
for those things.
Insane, huge fan base, but so fun.
Okay, sorry, Jerry.
But okay, anyways, so to send out our same message once again, with the strike coming on, or already on and going, let's send our support. Let's be a little bit more patient, a little bit more compassionate, and try and be, just overall, just try and be a little bit better, and try and help out whenever we can, and lend a helping hand. Thank you all, and let's all try and be safe.
Definitely be safe out there. It is, the peak. I mean, the midway point of all these conventions and expos that are happening. So please, it's hot outside at least in California. It's hot outside, so stay cool, stay safe, stay protected. I got nothing this week. It's I'm next week is when I'm gonna be like popping off, because I'm gonna be getting ready for Evo. But to the people that are out in FanFest this weekend, have some fun, man. And one last shout out, because I saw them a few days ago. Shout out to the Rupees, man. They had 150. They just had 150. So
nice.
Oh, nice. Congrats, guys.
Congrats, you guys. Thanks.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's
That's
are our
amazing.
boys out there. Those are our boys. But you know who's my boy? No. My man. My man. Pilwowski, send us out like you do.
What's up, Bo? This time I'm gonna close out with a little bit of a joke. Good old classic, but with a spin on it. Why the chicken crossed the road? Because chickens wait for no one.
Oh my Lord.
But thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Yo, if that's gonna be our outro, man, I will not be disappointed at
Dude,
all.
we need to make sure.
Good night, everybody.
That's a slogan, bro.